You were promised a bright future. You've exceeded all expectations your entire life. So why do you feel so far behind now? You're not crazy. There is actually something that they aren't telling you. So allow me. Molly here is in kindergarten. She has a curious spirit, open mind, and loves to learn. Her hobbies are impressive: potions, spellcasting, and alchemy. Her teachers remark she's especially bright, but for Molly, this is just second nature. She's just doing what she loves. Fast forward to 3rd grade. Molly has no trouble at all with her studies. She's a quick learner and understands well what others struggle to grasp. She begins to get assigned more difficult work to keep her busy. At this rate, just imagine how powerful she could become. Through middle school, Molly gets by fairly easily. Her favorite parts of school are the creative projects. She puts in extra work to make them incredible, far beyond what is expected for the assignment. She receives praise for going above and beyond, but it never quite feels like she deserves it. After all, she's not doing it because she wants to overachieve. She just enjoys the process. With this kind of talent, she could do anything. Come high school, she finds herself encountering concepts that she doesn't immediately understand, and realizes for the first time what it's like to be on the other side. Her classmates that once struggled can now surpass her. She tries to study, but when she opens her textbook, she realizes she has no idea what to do. As her grades start to slip, she feels confused about her identity. She is supposed to be the brightest, smartest student with the most potential. Post-grad, she feels the pressure lift a bit. She's played the part of studious kid her whole life. Now, she gets to relax and have some fun. Besides, this feels normal. She had the most potential when she was having fun and doing things that came easy, so this seems like the most logical step. But she never forgets the potential that was promised to her. And as time goes on, the distance between the identity she built as a superstar and the reality of her life grows. Hoping to learn how to act on her dreams, Molly begins to research people she looks up to in hopes that they have advice on how to overcome the invisible struggles that she's facing. Here's what they have to say. Every once in a while, you catch yourself thinking a really naughty thought. Would I be more successful now if my life had been harder? Could you imagine what someone else might think of you if they knew you thought that? This is the kind of thought that you immediately banish all evidence of. But still, you can't help but notice a pattern here. Successful people using their hardships as fuel. If only you had something that you could use as fuel, maybe you could be successful. Can you recall a time where someone underestimated you? It's almost like this rush. At first, you're just completely shocked because this never ever happens to you. Then you get this flush of anger and embarrassment because you're kind of insulted. And then you get this crazy fire that starts burning in your heart, and it kind of feels nice. You get this rush of encouragement that makes you feel powerful. Like for the first time, you are in control of your own actions and you could do anything and prove anyone wrong. Then immediately after, you catch yourself almost wishing that this would happen to you more often. And of course, immediately afterwards, you completely banish that thought because that would make you ungrateful for all of the support that you've had in your whole entire life, blah, blah, blah. Some people might have a pile of firewood ready to burn at their disposal. You don't. But I bet if you root around your house, you just might find something you can use. Ah, there you go. Now here's where you might have some reservations. Are these minor inconveniences socially acceptable to burn? No, not really. The truth is, you are a compassionate person, so you don't go around complaining that your parents were too supportive or that school was too easy for you. And social media especially will make you feel like you're not allowed to feel bad about your own circumstances because so many people have it worse. But there's no reason that you should be letting that dictate what goes on in your head. Nobody needs to know that you're burning minor inconveniences to use as fuel. If believing that you have a disadvantage because you never learned to work hard because everything was always given to you and that is your fuel, why not believe that? You don't need to tell anyone. You don't need to tell anyone the thoughts that are going on in your head.
These are my ideas for me.
But you do need to be willing to believe that you have problems. And only you get to dictate what your problems are. No one else gets to tell you what's a problem in your life and what isn't. This is the absolutely crucial first step. Stay with me here. When struggles don't present themselves to you from the outside world, you have to dig a little bit deeper and find them inside you. This is how. Inside you is a little robot. Actually, it's more like inside a robot is a little you. And you'd probably be in the head, kind of like a control center. Yes, exactly like that. Anytime you give a command and the robot doesn't do it, that's a malfunction. Some common malfunctions include procrastination, indiscipline, laziness, and insecurity. You give commands, but it's up to your body to execute them, and your body works like a machine that can be fine-tuned and updated. The successful people that you look up to have spent their entire lives mastering and fine-tuning their machines. So certain things are going to come easier to them as a result. They've learned that just wanting to achieve something isn't enough. They have to manually adjust the behavior of their machine over and over and over again until their machine learns how to be consistent and how to do it automatically. Then they can focus on other things. Nobody has a perfect machine, and everybody will spend their entire lives working on their machine. You may not have the same malfunctions as someone else, but pretending that your machine has no problems is a surefire recipe for disaster. Because success doesn't come from being great. Success comes from working to be greater. And it doesn't matter if you're stepping up 5 inches or 500 feet, as long as you're committing yourself to be better. That is the secret sauce. Can anybody find problems in their life? If you feel like you're too privileged to have problems, first of all, at least you're not a Nepo baby. Just like there is always someone worse off than you, there is always going to be someone better off than you as well. But what if you actually are a Nepo baby? No matter how rich and famous you are, everyone has the same problems of trying to figure out their identity and their fulfillment in life. Somebody's life may be easier in a physical sense, but they are not immune to the same emotions that we all have. And to be honest, being born to parents that are insanely rich or famous is so psychologically unnatural to your upbringing that I'm sure it comes with its own host of problems, and who am I to judge that? The thing is, you know everyone has problems. You just never think about it because it's not socially acceptable to focus on the problems of privileged people, and you lump yourself into that category because you're aware of your privilege. But congratulations, you officially have real problems. Yes, but in all the right ways. Denying that you have difficulties in life doesn't mean that they cease to exist. It just means that you can't identify and then treat them. You are not doing yourself any favors by pretending that you don't deserve to have problems. It's very, very easy to confuse you can do anything with you have no obstacles, because both of them are encouraging positive thinking. Whether you believe it or not, your obstacles are there, and that's why little Timmy, who didn't understand fractions in 3rd grade, is now better at math than you. Because he knew he had a problem and he was able to learn how to solve it. Same. But it's okay, because this is when we go back to those qualities that made us stand out in the very beginning. Curiosity, passion, drive, creativity. There is a reason that you stood out from all the other kids when you were little, because you had those qualities. So don't be afraid to tackle your obstacles, because guess what? It's probably not going to be as bad as you think. And someone who is as bright as you will probably do a pretty good job. So it looks like they were right all along. You actually are special. Molly realized that maybe she wasn't so different from her idols. After all, she had obstacles too. Now, she understood that procrastination and insecurity weren't things fundamentally wrong with her character, but simply bugs in the machine she had to fix. This delighted her greatly, because she loved to fix problems. She always had. For the first time, she started to feel real pride in herself. External praise on an excellent potion meant little to her, but knowing that she chose to work for 10 more minutes instead of picking up her phone made her feel capable of anything. She learned not to worry too much about what other people considered important achievements. Sure, she got good grades once upon a time, but it wasn't really relevant now, was it? The joy she got from working on her own personal goals was so strong that her machine learned to automatically seek it out. And before she knew it, she had trained her machine to work for her. She even decided she was gonna start a YouTube channel.